Okay, the red light is flashing, which means we are good to go. So, hey guys, thanks for coming today and hearing a little bit more about coaching. Maybe you're just curious about what the heck it is I do, that I actually get to call this a career. Maybe it's something that you've thought about for yourself, but really don't know much about. Whatever it is, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for coming with me. So I want to share first off kind of how this began for me. Every single person's story is different how they got into coaching. Mine is, I think, pretty similar to a lot because we didn't come into this wanting to be a coach. We knew nothing about coaching. But I just want to kind of explain a little bit about my story and then go into what I actually do as a coach, because I'm sure that's a huge question. It was one that I had because I didn't understand like what the actual ins and outs were. I saw, my coach posting stuff on social media. I was in her challenge group that we call it, like accountability group, but I didn't really know like how she made money. And I'll let you know a few of that stuff of kind of like when the light bulbs went off for me and I realized like, oh dang, like what is this that I have in front of me? So let's start from square one. I'm going to try to keep this part short. I'm also going to try not to cry. That's usually not possible for me in this, but I'm going to try really hard to put my shell on with this to not cry too much. Not that I'm ashamed of crying. I'm so proud of the journey that I've been on, but I put makeup on today for the first time in a long time, so I don't want to ruin the makeup. Let's just be real. Okay, so it was July 2016, so a little over 3.5 years ago, which is just insanity to me that it has been that long. But was when I legit like hit like rock bottom in my life, although I had like all the most amazing things. So I had a full-time job that was legit my dream job. I was a rhino caretaker at Busch Gardens. I had been wanting to work there for 10 plus years. And I finally was there. I'd been there for about 5 years at Busch, and I just loved it. Like I absolutely loved my job full time. So the full benefits, like everything, I had like, I don't know, something crazy, like 7 or 8 weeks vacation every year. It was good. Like I had an amazing, amazing job, very stable, etc. I was married. I had 2 incredible kids, still do, by the way. The married thing has changed, but I had kind of what everybody thought would be like that, dream, so to say. You're married with kids, with a job, your partner has a job. Like I had a house that I owned, like things were good, but something wasn't right, like inside. I wasn't happy. I woke up not wanting to wake up. I wanted to go back to bed. Through therapy and doctor's visits, etc. And looking back, I understand kind of where I was at. I got postpartum with my first, with Caleb, which was obviously years prior, and then was able to come out of that roughly about a year out. And then with Shaylee, my second born, again, I got postpartum. With her, it was much more severe. Still, doctors weren't really talking to me about it. I would like go in and literally sob sitting in the chair, like sob, crying. And nobody mentioned anything about like why I was feeling this way, or like, I didn't know. But again, it was postpartum. And that postpartum kind of rippled into then depression. I don't know like when like clinically it turns into depression and not postpartum. Not sure you can really put a button on that, but it hit, and it hit hard. My mental state just totally started deteriorating. At this point, I think Shay was like 2. And I started getting what I thought was heart attacks, like little mini heart attacks. It was a panic attack, which again, I knew nothing about that. I knew nothing about mental health or any of that. I honestly just, I'm going to be totally honest, I thought mental health was just like some made up term for people that were sad and just needed an excuse. And I'm sorry that I'm saying it, but it was my ignorance. I didn't understand mental health back then. So for me, when I was having these feelings, the rush of, the hotness, my tingling, the feeling that I couldn't breathe, like I thought I was having a heart attack. So I think there was a couple different moments where everything kind of hit the fan, and I promise I'm getting somewhere with this. But I was sitting in a work meeting at Bush with my coworkers. Nothing stressful. Like we were joking around, like we would totally joke around and kid. And all of a sudden, like it hit me that whoosh. And I really thought I was dying. And I looked at my boss and I remember like saying like just something's wrong. And they called 911 and, the medics came, they rushed me out in an ambulance. Like I was mortified because I, first of all, should tell you, like, I'm like one of the things that I work through, I'm crazy insecure. And so having that moment where like everybody was like staring at me being brought out and like, it was horrifying. But, went through the tests and all that, went to a cardiologist. Weeks later, like all the results came back, like, you're having panic attacks, Megan. Like you have anxiety. I'm like, what? Had to process all that. So within all this time, like my depression was just getting more and more intense, the panic attacks, etc. And in stepped these thoughts where I wanted to end my life. And that's when the moment really sat and woke me up. Not sat. It punched me. It punched me and woke me up. And it's very clear. I can remember it like it was yesterday. I can remember it like it's happening right now. I can close my eyes and I can picture being in the car. And I was driving on the crosstown, if you guys are Florida local, on the crosstown. And I remember having my hands so tight on that steering wheel. And I saw they have like, the crosstown is like, it has a highway on top of a highway. So underneath there's these big, huge like ballards. And that was it. Like I imagined it and I was going to turn and end it. Told you I was going to try to not cry. And then this little voice from the back seat came in and it was Caleb. I had forgotten he was in the car. And there I was in my selfish moment going to end it all. And that was my punch. And that was my like huge wake up, like, what are you doing? Like, what is going on? And I didn't know what I needed. I didn't know who to ask for help, but I knew it was time to stop keeping it to myself. I knew it was time that I needed to reach out, not for me, because I didn't feel worthy. I didn't get to that point yet, but that they were worthy and that they needed a mom that was going to be there for them, and they needed a mom to look up to. And I was not being that mom at all. It wasn't my fault. It was a sickness. Mental health is not something that, you can help without help. And I needed help. So I started kind of looking at all the different things that, what people with good mental health had. And, I would read lots of stuff, like they would do personal development. Well, I thought that was a bunch of crap, so I didn't start that. They see a therapist. I started to do that. They go to a doctor to try to get meds. Started doing that. I started doing like all the things, and it's still like, it was just slow and it wasn't like making me feel good. And I was like, gosh, I just need that fix. I need to feel good again. I need to feel like me again. And so then I started thinking about nutrition. Not that it was going to make me happy, if I'm being totally honest. I thought it would make my pants size get smaller, which would make me happy. I mean, who doesn't like fitting in a pair of cute jeans? But that was just, I'm telling you my honest, whatever. So I put some post on Facebook and said something about I needed help with sugar. And in walked kind of like the divine moment of my coach, and she found me. And she was just a Facebook friend. I had no idea like who she was. It was just, she added me. I don't know her. She lived in my neighborhood, and she messaged me and said, I can help you with that. And we went back and forth a couple times. She mentioned the word Beachbody. I had actually heard of Beachbody before. It was back when, after I had Caleb, I got P90X. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that program. It's a Beachbody program. But I had gotten P90X, all the DVDs that came with it. And I tried, I think, 2 workouts, gave up because that was hard as heck. And I didn't know what I was doing. I felt like a complete failure. So I quit and I never touched those DVDs again. Like they just collected dust. I don't know if you guys have ever, had programs like that, or like a treadmill or something that you get it, you're like all pumped for, and then you try it and you're like, that's not as fun as everybody said it was. Or, like I didn't get those immediate results. So anyway, when she said that, I'm like, oh, I know, Beachbody. And immediately I had kind of like that negative connotation. Like I bought the program, it didn't work, but really, I tried it twice. But anyway, so I kind of knew a little bit. And this girl, she was in shape that I, was talking to me, and I'm like, okay, I guess, she knows like what she's talking about. But I was like, I don't know. 3 weeks, we went back and forth, and I was like, nope, I'm not going to do it. Nope, whatever. Well, comes in that moment where again, I had a bad day, and I was like, dang, like I just need to do something, So I messaged her and I was like, all right, fine, let's do this. I'm signing up. And she's like, okay, let's go. So we signed up with 21 Day Fix. Again, the DVDs, because that was back in the day. We don't do that anymore, but I'll tell you about that stuff. 21 Day Fix and a 3-day refresh, which is basically like a really gentle 3-day cleanse. I've done it probably like 5 times now. And I ordered it. I maxed out my credit card. Because yes, while I told you I had a full-time job, it was great. My ex-husband had a job. So, we had all the things, but we were still paycheck to paycheck. It's not cheap having kids and like a house and a car and like all that. So that's where we were at. So I maxed out one of my credit cards, put this on there, and felt immediate guilt when I bought it. So that's, I can always relate to people that are like that, because when you go and you spend money on yourself during a time in your life where maybe, spending money isn't that easy. I know that guilt, like I had that guilt, and let me explain to you what happened. So the package came a day late of when it was supposed to. I was in such a negative mindset that literally I called my coach and I was like, that's it. I'm canceling. I can't believe it. This company is sending me my stuff a day late. Like I was such in a bad spot. Like I just wanted every excuse that I could to cancel this and to not start, because I was so freaking scared of failing. Like I was so scared of failing. I didn't cancel. I came close like 17 times, I think, in that first week. Let's just be real. But I didn't cancel. And the thing that kept me was my coach saying, you have 30 days. 30 days. If you don't like it, if you don't get your results that you want, if you don't feel good, you can get your money back. I was like, fine. I'm returning this stuff on the 29th day. Mark my word. That's what's happening. I'm not kidding. So anyway, let me also explain. I signed up as a coach. Okay. So there's 2 different ways to sign up through Beachbody. You can sign up as a customer or you sign up as a coach. Now, there's 2 differences in that. As a customer, you pay full price. As a coach, you pay a discounted price. It's 25% off of most things. Don't quote me to that, because some things are a little bit different. But most things are about 25% off. And I told her, I don't want to sign up as a coach. I don't ever want to coach. Like, again, remember that whole negative mindset thing that I had. So I said, I never, ever want to coach. And she's like, it's okay. You told me that you wanted to save money, so this is how you're going to save money. And I said, okay, but I don't want to coach. Go figure. Now I'm a full-time coach. This is how I like provide for my family. But I said I didn't want it. So that other way of signing up, if y'all do want to sign up, there's no requirements. There's no like stocking, like you don't keep products, just the stuff that you use. So the company does all of that stuff for you. They do the stocking. They send to your customers. Like they do all of that back end stuff. Like we don't have to do that. Thank gosh. Because like literally like if you ask somebody on my team, they'll tell you how bad I am about sending out like gifts and stuff. Like I'm horrible. It'll be like 4 months later and I'll send something out. But anyway, so luckily you don't have to do that. But yeah, so if you're a coach, it's literally just you coach if you want to coach. And for me, it was just the discount that I wanted. So that's how I signed up. So that's how it came to be. Fast forward 3 weeks into my program. Again, remember it's a 21-day fix program. It was a 3-week program. I lost 15 pounds. in that 3 weeks. So first off, seeing that scale move when I thought I was going to fail. Second off, like the confidence that happened is like, I can't even, the person from that day 1 to day, 22, like actually, if you really want to say, it was 21 days plus a 3 because of 3-day refresh. So 24 days. So those 2 people on day 1 and day 24 were different people. Like they were not the same person. I never went back to that other person again, but it was insane. I saw me again. Like I saw me, the person that I thought was never going to come back, that existed before kids, after kids. Like it was just kind of like a slow, and they're upstairs right now. So hopefully, they don't take offense to this, but they know my story. But once they came, it wasn't me anymore. It was all them. And I never did things for myself. I stopped believing in myself. Like so much about me died. And at that day 24, I felt a piece of me like born again. Like that sounds so crazy, but I'm telling you, like confidence and belief in yourself is something that will change everything in your life. It will change your relationships. It will affect your work life. It'll affect how you parent. It'll affect how you friend. Like all of the things, like confidence and belief in yourself changes everything. And so it's so hard for me to share my story and for me to share things about how coaching has changed my life and how these programs have changed my life unless you experience it, because I think from the outside, it kind of is like, oh, she lost weight, which, over the whole course of all this, I've lost 50 pounds. Losing 50 pounds does change you. However, the weight isn't what's going to really change you up here. You have to work on what's up here for this to all stay and for this to matter, if that makes sense. Like I had to work on my brain, my head, my mindset, and all of that stuff after I started dropping the pounds to have this change and to have this impact that this community and this opportunity has given me. So it was that first 24 days that really set the tone of, holy crap, like I love this. Like I want more of this. It's like if you take a pill and it's like gives you all this happy stuff, you're like, I want another one of that. That's what I was thinking. Like I want more of that. So I stayed in the groups. My coach had me in this challenge group, like I said, where we basically checked in every day. We shared our sweaty selfies, which, was totally uncomfortable for me because I didn't take pictures unless my kid was right in front of me, I didn't take pictures of myself. So it was very awkward, very weird. But I did it. And, I really said, like, I was committed to going all in because I wanted to give it my all and see what happened. And so I did. And, amazing things started happening. So maybe second month in, my coach, started talking a little bit about coaching with me, and still I was like, no, I don't want to coach, like blah, 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 blah. And it was right within that same time that somebody from work noticed that I had like an extra bounce in my step and I was smiling a little bit more. And she asked me what I was doing. And I'll never forget that conversation because I'm so grateful for that conversation. And I told her what I was doing, and she says, well, I want to do it with you. And I was like, oh. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it really hit me, because I don't know about you, but I'd like to feel important. Maybe that's a funny thing to say out loud. I don't know. I don't care anymore. I like to feel important. I like to feel like I'm making a difference. And when she said that to me, I was like, I can share this gift with her. Like, that's powerful. Like, I can share this gift with her. And I just word vomited so much stuff. It wasn't even funny. I had no idea what I was saying, but I knew what I had done over the last 2 months. I knew how much my program was. I knew all that stuff. And then she's like, okay, so yeah, let's do it. I want to sign up. So then I immediately messaged my coach and I was like, well, you know, how I said, I don't ever want to coach. Yeah. Okay. I want to coach. I just, you know, this girl wants to sign up, and I think, you know, that's what that means. Right. So within the first month of coaching, I remember like seeing my bank account, and it was like $160 or something like that, that I had made from coaching. And for somebody that lives paycheck to paycheck, that $160 was a big deal. Like that was a really big deal for me. But I kind of kept that going where I would talk to people as they would talk to me. I was starting to share on social media, just in a very much like, I don't know, just if I had a good day, I just shared it. Like it wasn't like I'm going to post every day because now I am a coach and I do this for a living. Like it wasn't that. It wasn't that at all. It was a really slow process for me when I started. But then I think it all came to a head when I started attending trainings. So as a coach, you know, you're provided, which I'll go over with you guys in a few minutes, but you're provided with a bunch of different opportunities to learn. But I was listening to this one training, and I had heard a bunch of calls at this point. So I knew that there were people, you know, making money and all this stuff, but it was kind of like that's not me kind of thing. Like you guys watching this might think that I'm outgoing and I'm an extrovert and all that. And I don't know if I'm an introverted extrovert or extroverted introvert. I never understand like what it is. Like when I am comfortable with the people that I'm with, you can't shut me up. And when I love something, you can't shut me up. But you put me in a room of strangers and I am going to crumble, a slow, miserable, painful death. Like just like, or you make me talk about something that I don't know. Like, so there's parts of me that are very introverted, but anyway, so I was just like, this isn't for me. Like I'm not that person. I don't even have an Instagram account. Like that's not me. I'm just going to stick to the people that are, you know, talking to me, and I want to learn on how to serve them better. So yeah, okay, I'll do that. But then this girl, Lisa, and I still think her to this day. Like we're all like, no matter how we're connected as coaches in this organization, we're so freaking supportive of each other. So she has no connection to me whatsoever, but I totally message her and she'll help me. Like it's crazy. But anyway, so I heard her talk, and this was kind of the moment that just really was like, holy crap. Like I've had a lot of those holy crap moments. But this was one of them. So Lisa was telling her story, kind of like how you're hearing my story. I was doing an info sesh with her team and listening to them. And she was a dean of a college and, you know, working her way up the ladder. And she had said, again, similar to me, which kind of made connections, was that she loved her job. I love my job. But she knew she wanted something more, and she wanted to, you know, have control of it. And I am definitely a control freak. I didn't like reporting to a boss. I'm not going to cry again. I absolutely hated missing things with my kids. I worked weekends. I worked holidays. So there was things that I did want to change. Even though I love my job, I did want to change. If, you know, I was to be given the ability to dream, which I was starting to do. So Lisa was telling her story and saying how, you know, she started building her business and her income started growing, and she matched her income. And it was, you know, I'd probably heard that with different coaches say it, you know, a handful of times about that. I don't know what it was about when Lisa said it, but when Lisa said she matched her income, I don't know if it was because like I realized that when you're a dean of college, you probably make a pretty good income. Like I don't know what she made, but you know, it wasn't minimum wage. You know what I mean? Like it was probably a really good income. And she matched it with coaching and building it while she was still working with kids. And I'm like, okay, like I can do that. Like if this girl can do that, why can't I? Why can't I? So I started to take it more seriously, and I started to dream bigger, and I started to believe in myself in the business sense, which is still an evolutionary thing that's happening, because I am human and I, have those moments of not believing in myself. But then I turn around and I see like coaches that I have helped bring into this coaching community just crush it and, be knocking off like one of our coaches. She has this thing on her bathroom where she knocks off every time she makes, I think it's like $250. And like, it's been like over the course of the last month, I think, and she's knocked over $1,000 off of there. And I'm just like, this is incredible. Like, incredible. Coming from somebody that lived paycheck to paycheck, an extra $1,000 a month. Like for me, it was that extra $160 a month that was like really like impactful for me. An extra $1,000 a month that I am helping create, for that other family. Mind you, she's building it. I'm not building it, but that I pointed her in that direction and that I helped her to find this opportunity. Like that just like is just so freaking insane to me that I have that ability. Like I'm a college dropout, guys. Like I'm a college dropout. Like, and I say that with pride because of where my life went. And I didn't have the ability to finish college. So when I had my very like amazing job that I was so proud of, like I thought that was my level. I couldn't advance there because I didn't have my bachelor's degree. I was at the max level, but I was making decent money, I felt like, for where I was at. And I didn't allow myself to dream bigger because I was a college dropout and I didn't see myself with 2 kids now being able to go back and finish it and still be a mom and still work 40 hours a week and like do all the things. So guys, when this started rolling for me, when the weekly checks started getting bigger, I just decided like, I just got to go all in. I just got to do it. It's too good not to. The way that our income grows, this is what's like so freaking crazy. The way our income grows is by helping more people, by helping more people be impacted physically, mentally, emotionally, which I don't know if that's the same thing, and financially. To be able to help someone financially and mentally, you know what I mean? With like no education, like none. So let me tell you about my background in health. 0. I know nothing. Like I know nothing. Like I was a total gym rat. I will tell you that. I was a gym rat back in my 20s. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, although you probably already know I blasted everywhere. I'm an old lady, but back in my 20s, I was a gym rat and I loved it. Like I loved the gym. I loved feeling strong. I loved feeling, I don't know, good at something. And I was, but that was in my 20s when I, was waitressing and, had no kids and had a life that I could just, go and spend 2 hours a day at the gym and whatever. I still never had a 6-pack. Didn't find those until my 30s with the at-home workouts, which is freaking nuts if that's how I found my abs. But really, I mean, if you've heard me talk enough, it's not about the workouts. It's about the nutrition to get those abs. They're made in the kitchen. So guys, like my experience is 0 in this. But as a coach, let me now go into, so now you guys got my story. Let me go into what it is that I do as a coach, what you need to have, many like misconceptions or thoughts that I had. And if you guys have ones that I know I've already had some people message me, so I'm going to touch on those. But if you guys have additional thoughts or comments or whatever, drop it. And I can, if we're still on live, I can drop, those answers, let you guys know if you have other questions. So, all right, so let's first talk about what I thought you had to have. I thought you had to have a big following. I thought you had to have a 6-pack, to start inviting people and to start sharing and really like inspiring people. Let's see, I thought you needed to have a background, like all this stuff, like, and let me squash all of that. I had 200 friends on Facebook. I had no Instagram account. I knew nothing about it. I am the most like non-tech savvy. Guys, you also will know, like, I jumble my words nonstop. So edumacation, it doesn't really matter. You just have to be freaking passionate and fall in love with what you do. But anyway, I'm still smart. I'm just, little silly with it. But so internet experience, social media experience, you don't need to know any of it. I have learned as I go. I am still learning as I go. Social media is always going to be evolving, which is fun because it gives us chances to learn new things, which is great. But so I didn't start Instagram until probably a year into coaching. And now that's my primary business. Like that is where I primarily run my business, is through Instagram, not Facebook. Will that change? Probably. Who knows? I just started TikTok. Who knows what's going to happen there? But it's always evolving. But you don't need to know anything. We will provide for you that training. So we'll go into that experience. There are so many different levels of experience of coaches that come into the network. There are people that come in that are personal trainers, that are certified nutritionists. There are people that come in like me that know absolutely nothing, but they know how to follow a plan. And that's what I did. So as a coach, what you do is you follow the program and you teach others to do the same. They purchase their program and you'll guide them onto how to follow it. You're not creating the program. You're not like creating the workouts. You're not creating the nutrition plans. Those are created by professionals. We are helping them go through it. We are their freaking biggest fan. We are their biggest cheerleader. We believe in them before they believe in themselves. That's what I had given to me, and now I pay it forward every single freaking day. Because that is like the magic. That is the magic sauce. Somebody can buy a fitness program. Somebody can buy a membership to a gym. Somebody can buy a nutrition plan. But to have somebody there for you, supporting you, telling you it's okay if you just had a bad day. I'm here for you. What can I do? Like, it is the missing secret link. It's the secret freaking link. It's having a best friend in your pocket. One that can, you know, like smack you when you need a smack or give you a hug when you need a hug. Like it is incredible, that opportunity that we have, but we don't need to have experience. If you have a kind and giving heart and you like to see people exceed, that's all you need. You do not need to know anything else about nutrition. You do not need to know anything else about fitness. That stuff is done for you. Now, if you want to go on and, you know, dive into that deeper, then go ahead. That could be your thing. Like, you know, if you're already a personal trainer, then yes, like you've got that, you know, different layer to you. That's what's the beauty of coaching. Everybody has their own thing. Everybody has their own, you know, area that they focus on. Like maybe, you know, you're really into like creating recipes. Not me. I don't like being in the kitchen. Like I follow recipes from, you know, our blog. I follow recipes that are in made meal plans that I get. Like that's not my thing, but that might be your thing. You know, maybe your thing is mindset. Maybe your thing is physical fitness. Maybe your thing is literally getting shredded and ripped, which girl, if that's your thing, that's your thing. If your thing is having a freaking glass of wine and eating a donut and also getting some like freaking kick-ass results, like you can do that too. Like it's kind of awesome. You can be whatever coach you want to be, okay? But my whole point was experience is not required. Like it's not required, which really worked out for me in my whole college dropout, no experience thing, which is also why, again, like I passed this up 6 or 7, gosh, no, my son just turned 9. 8 years ago, I passed it up when I got an email that said, do you want to be a coach? Because after you order a program, you know, you get those emails from Beachbody. And I was like, no, I can't be a coach. I don't have experience. How am I going to be a coach? You can be a coach. It doesn't matter what experience level you are. It will fit within that and you make it fit. Okay, so let me go into trainings. Number 1, when you come into our team, you'll go into like a new coach mentorship. We'll mentor you on how to share. We'll mentor you how to get started. All of that stuff, like you will be guided on. We're not going to do the work for you though. So that's on you. That's one of the beauties of running your own business, but also the downfall, because maybe that's not for you. Maybe you like to go into work and you like to have somebody tell you exactly what to do, when to do it, etc. Like maybe that's what you like. I don't. I do like guidance in a sense, but I don't want somebody telling me how, when, and why, and all that stuff. I want to control that myself. So I am going to give you the tools that you need. I am going to provide you with so much freaking training, your eyeballs are going to hurt. Stop, sorry. But it's up to you to do the work. And the level of what you want to do it is also up to you, which is freaking awesome, because maybe you have like 45 minutes a day to devote to coaching. Maybe you have 5 hours a day to devote to coaching. Who knows? But for the person that has 45 minutes and the person that has a couple hours, it's going to look different what we do in the plan that we set up for you. And that's okay. It doesn't matter what it is. Your dreams don't have to be mine. Your goals with this business don't have to be mine. But if you come in with a passion for wanting to help others and maybe make some income while doing it, then we can get you rolling and get you into the right amount of training to not be overwhelming and to just get you started. But you won't be in this alone. It's not just me. You've got the whole Joy Squad that is behind your back, that will be there for you, that'll be supportive with you, that'll be there to answer questions. You truly come into a family when you come in with us. I'm sure I'm biased, but I just love our girls so much. Their hearts are monstrous, and they say like you attract what you are. Like they're, like me. I love them. They're emotional, they're fun, they're silly, they make me laugh to no end. Like they are just my people, and they truly care about each other all being supported. And so if you do have a question, you don't just have me as your mentor, you also have them as well. It's a new family that you get into. Okay, so let's see. We talked about social media, like that doesn't matter. We talked about experience, that doesn't matter. Let's talk about your weight. Let's just go there, okay? So when I first started coaching, I was still 30-something pounds up from what I am now. And that means nothing. I have heard so much from the coaches that have the 6-pack and the no body fat, which will never be me. That is not who I am. I will always have some junk in the trunk. That's just the kind of person that I am. I'd like to have my treats, which is fine. It's balance. Like that's one of my things is balance. It's not about, having 0% body fat. Like that's just not me. But anyway, so I've heard so much though from the coaches that are that way, that do, really go hardcore with their nutrition and fitness, that it's almost harder to talk to people that way, because not many people can relate to that. People can relate to having 20 pounds to lose. People can relate to having 10 pounds to lose. You know what I mean? So make no mistake, you don't have to be at a goal weight, which I don't even know what the heck that is anymore. Like, I don't know if there is such thing as a goal weight. But you don't need to have that to be successful as a coach. There are also plus size coaches that are extremely successful in this business. So really there's no right or wrong with what your body looks like. With it is not about that. It is about, are you being your best you? Are you showing up to be your best self? And that has nothing to do with what the scale reflects. So get that out of your head. All right, next up, another misconception. Let me think. Age has been a misconception. I know I was kind of hesitant starting later in the game. Age doesn't matter. There are so many successful coaches in their 20s and their 40s and their 50s and their 60s, like no joke. So age can't be one of the things that you let hold you back. Like truly, my name became Excuses Are Gone, because every single excuse I kept making up for my own physical health, for my coaching journey, all of it, it was just an excuse. If you want to do this, if you want to create an income while impacting others positively, there's no excuse. Like there's no excuse. You will absolutely have the tools that you need. No matter what you do in life, no matter what your life looks like, doesn't matter. There's no excuse for it. We can find a way to make it work for you. Okay, so let's see. All right, real quick, let's get into what I actually do, because I'm sure like that's a big question. So what do I actually do? And we'll wind it up here. So as a coach, there is number one job. Our number one job as a coach is probably not what you're thinking, but it is ourself, our own health, our own personal development, which, yeah, guys, I bought into that whole thing now. I do personal development every single day, which means like I listen to audiobooks, I listen to podcasts, I do trainings from some of the leaders that like inspire the heck out of me, but I do that daily. I do that. I work out. I feed my body with nutritious stuff. I'm a product of the product. So I don't do anything I don't believe in. So for example, like you guys saw the pink cup, which gosh, yeah, that's so pink. So the pink cup is the Energize. You don't have to drink Energize to be a successful coach. I do it because I freaking love it. It is my happy juice. I talk about it every day in my story. It's my happy juice. Guys, I drink it and it puts a smile on my face, okay? It is what it is. So product of the product that I use that, it gives me freaking energy. It makes me happy. People want it. It's like, you know, that whole thing I was talking about before. We have Recover. Guys, I'm not going to go over all the products. I'm sharing the products that I use because I'm not going to share stuff that I don't use because I'm just not like that. If there's a need, like if I hear one of my clients talk about something with their digestion or talk about whatever, I will definitely tell them something that we have that, you know, would benefit them. But I don't talk a lot about the stuff that I don't use. I talk about the stuff that I use because that's what I do. So the Recover, I use Recover. That is the stuff that I take after like a super intense workout so I don't get sore. Yeah, girl, I can't wait for you to get it too. It's going to be freaking awesome. I think you got the lemon too, right? Lemon super. It's my favorite. Shakeology. That's a packet. It definitely comes in a bigger pack than that. But Shakeo. Guys, like so many people, including myself, I will totally admit to this. I thought it was a protein shake. I was like, why the heck do I need a protein shake? That doesn't make sense. I'm going to just eat my protein and call it a day. It's not a protein shake. This is actually, the Recover is actually more a protein shake than the Shakeology. Shakeology is more superfood shake, I call it. It has over 70 different superfoods in it, and which for me really didn't mean jack crap. Again, I'm being so honest with you guys. It didn't mean jack crap. I didn't know why I needed it, but again, my coach told me it was going to help me. So I said, again, for a month, I'll try it, but then I'm going to cancel. Remember, guys, we're going on over 3.5 years, and I have never missed a Shakeology a day. Sometimes I drink too. Let's just be real, and I'll explain why in a second. But it is so much more than what I realized I was missing and what I needed. My stomach, since I was a little girl, like Shaylee's age, like 5 or 6, my stomach has always been upset. Like it was just kind of a feeling that I got used to, my stomach hurting. And doctors never knew like why it was. It was just, she's got a nervous stomach. That's what was always told to me. I had a nervous stomach. After a month or maybe a month and a half, it just hit me. My stomach doesn't hurt. I didn't really understand it until I started piecing together and understanding Shakeology. It has pro and prebiotics in it and things inside that literally help your digestion, things that my body was needing that I didn't realize for 30 plus years. And now, unless, you know, I go and eat some fried, nasty food, because now that I've gotten that out of my system, unless I go and eat that stuff, my stomach doesn't hurt every day. It's amazing. I didn't realize I needed it until I had it, kind of thing, you know? But it's not a protein shake. It gives you energy. It's got antioxidants in it that helps your bodies fight. Like there's just so much in there that it's not a protein shake. So anyway, so there's the Shakeology. So the things that I do, and then also the beach bars, which I can't actually keep them in the house. Like literally the kids, well, Shaylee just goes to town on them. But they now have vegan options, which works for me because I've now kind of transitioned more over to vegan. So we have the beach bars, and those are the things that I take almost on a daily basis. And then the workouts. So for me, that's how my coaching kind of like thing goes. Every coach is different with what they do. So I work out every day. I talk about that in my stories. And I drink all of these products, and I'm a product of the product. So I got results because the stuff works. And from that, I share daily. Everything has kind of transitioned over the last few years of how social media works. But right now, I show up every day. I do all of these things, and I just share it with people. And we share in our training how to be non-icky. Like sometimes I see people in different MLMs or different companies, and I just want to like put them through our training and like teach them how to inspire and not sell. Like, I don't know if that like makes sense to you, but I want to inspire someone to do what I'm doing. I don't want to sell them on what I'm doing, you know? So if I am a proof of the product that works, if I am showing up and getting results, like that should speak for itself. So when I go and I talk to people, it's not icky. I am dang proud of what I do. And when I go and I talk to people about coaching, like I talk to you about coaching, I am dang proud of the business that I have built. And I know for a fact that when you put your head, your heart, all of yourself into this, it will change your life like it did for me. And so I don't feel icky ever about doing what I do because I have proof that it works. And that is enough for me. And that's how we teach you to show up for your own business and for your own health. So, okay, so that was kind of like what we do. So we work on us first, and then we share it. We teach you how to share it, and then you invite. So if you're watching this video or if you're watching this live, you are probably invited to this. You got an invite from us. So that's what we do. And then we just explain what we're doing. And that's basically that end of it. The other end is then the challenge groups. You guys heard us talk about the challenge groups. So within the challenge groups, everybody's a little bit different and how they run them. For us, we typically do like a 30-day challenge group, a start and finish, and people will check in. We will share tips, recipes, all that stuff, which you guys don't have to start out running them by yourself. When you're ready to fly, we let you fly and we'll help you along the way. But you can come into ours, you can invite your people into ours, and then you can go spread your wings when you're ready to spread your wings. So there's that aspect of it as well, and getting people results. So that's you following up with your people and checking in on them, making sure they're doing okay, and just being an all-around good person, like being a good freaking person. Okay, so now let's talk about money. Okay, so I'll close it out with money. How does it happen? How does it work? All of the above. So I have different PDFs that will literally share, like I can share with you on the compensation plan. I don't want to say complicated, but there are definitely different facets to it. So if you want to see that, if you're a visual person, you want to see it, let me know, and I can email you out or message you out that PDF. But let me explain to you a little bit, kind of broken down into my level of understanding of how I needed it explained to me. So there's a couple different ways to get paid. Number one, right off the bat, and this will be something that you are focusing on for the first couple months, is commission. So you get immediate commission. I don't say immediate, you get paid once a week. So every Thursday is payday. That's our awesome day. So every Thursday you will get paid. So that's when, we focus on commissions in the beginning. But there's also, it all depends on how much money you want to make. If you just want to make a couple $100, a week, if you want to bring in $1,000 a month, like let's just focus on commission. Like if that's your end goal, like that's probably where we're going to hone in, just commissions. And so that will be bringing in new customers, every month. However, if you are more in the mindset like how I am now, not how when I was started because I didn't even understand it all, but how I am now, where I want to grow a 6-7 figure business. I want to have the freedoms in life where I don't ever have to sit in the parking lot and go and check my bank account to see if I have enough money for groceries. I don't ever want to check a price tag. And now don't get me wrong, like I don't need to be one of those people that goes into like, I don't even know the fancy stores because I don't do that. Like this is from, Ross. It was like $7. Like I don't need that, but I don't want to have to ever stress about looking at a price tag and then having to go to my bank account to check it. Okay. So if you have some bigger dreams, I also want to live on the water. Oh yeah. Did I mention that? If you have some bigger dreams, commissions aren't going to get you there. Commissions aren't going to get you the 6 and 7 figures. So what gets you there is then what is like cycle bonuses. And that means building a team of other coaches that are like you that also want to build a team. So that is where the bigger paychecks are going to come from, is building your team. And we're going to teach you how to do that. Now, on top of that, there's an even more awesome thing that comes along, and that's bonuses. So there are different ranks within the company, and once you hit different ranks, you then are able to tap into the profits of the company, which is incredible. So I mean, we're talking quarterly bonuses because they get paid out every quarter. And so if you reach those benchmarks, quarterly bonuses could be anywhere from 800 to, I don't know, 80,000. So it just depends. And they keep building. So there are multiple different ways to get paid within this company. It really depends on where you want to go, what level you want to take it to. There's no right or wrong. And it does kind of evolve as you go because, you know, maybe you come in thinking, okay, I want to get 6 figures, but then you come in and you're like, no, you know what? I just want to spend a couple hours a week and I'm happy, you know, with a couple $100 a month. Like maybe that's just where you land, or maybe the reverse, like how I am. But there's no right or wrong, but there is unlimited potential. I will tell you, there is unlimited potential with where you can go in this business, which is just freaking insane. Okay, and then also there's other perks of like, oh my gosh, like the free swag and the trips, which, you know, right now might be not something that we're going on trips, but there are the free trips, the earned trips that we get. I've been to Riviera Maya, which was absolutely incredible, fully paid, all inclusive. Like there's these amazing retreats that we get to go on and just get totally spoiled. So there's also those perks if you like those kind of things too, which I love to travel. So it's kind of amazing. I can't wait to travel again. Hopefully that comes soon. But so there's a lot of different perks, income-wise, travel, etc., that you get, you know, being part of this when you know, really put into this. So if you have a job now where you go in, you clock in, and then you work and you come in, you clock out, you go, you get paid. Like that is how I kind of explain this. When you sign up to be a coach, if you don't go in and clock in and work, you're not going to see results. Like you can't. And I think so many people, and I want to be honest with you because I don't want you to start a coaching business thinking you are going to make it by just signing up. I'm not going to blow smoke up you. Like that'd be like literally me saying, okay, here you go. You got a job. You're hired. Let me make you this offer. And then you're like, yay, sweet. And then you don't show up and you don't do the work, but you still expect to get a paycheck. It's not going to happen. It's not going to. You have to show up and you have to do the work. The awesome thing is the work is you working on your own health. Like that's literally part of the puzzle, and you helping other people with their health. It's insane that you can then make a living and an income doing that. Like that's sick to me. So it's not for everybody. Like maybe that doesn't, you know, make you all warm and fuzzy inside. It does for me. Helping somebody mentally, physically, financially, to change their life, like that makes me warm and fuzzy. That makes me freaking jump for joy inside and want to scream. And that's how I know that I'm in the right field. And that's how I know that like I am living my purpose. So if any of that sounds, you know, interesting and you want to take it to the next step, then the next step is choosing a program, choosing a package, getting started on you. First week, you learn your program. Like absolutely, I don't even want you like doing anything. The first week, I want you learning your program inside and out, mapping a plan for you and your health, and then like, let's roll. Like, let's freaking get the ball rolling and let's start training. Let's start getting you in there and changing some freaking lives. Because right now, the world needs more positivity. They need more inspiration. They need more motivation. And you could be the person to do that, which is freaking incredible. So guys, I'm going to end the call here. If you have questions, send them to me. I'd be happy to answer anything you have, and also be super pumped to get you started and into our family. I will talk to you guys later. Let me stop the record.